This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather in New York and Connie Chung in Los Angeles.
Good evening. Federal charges were filed today against two men described as material witnesses in the Oklahoma City bombing murders. The firearms charges against James and Terry Nichols are not related to the bombing itself, but they will allow authorities to keep the brothers in custody while the investigation goes on. CBS News correspondent Jacqueline Adams begins our coverage in Milan, Michigan.
It took 5 minutes at a hearing inside the Milan federal prison. U.S. attorneys formally linked the Nichols brothers of Michigan with Oklahoma bomb suspect Timothy McVeigh. Though they did not mention the Oklahoma City bombing, officials charged James, who was at the hearing, and Terry, who was not, with conspiring to make and possess small bombs. McVeigh was listed as an uncharged co-conspirator.
The charge was based upon the evidence that was found at the Nichols farm, which demonstrated that explosive devices had been prepared.
After a 4-day search of the Decker, Michigan farm, the criminal complaint charges authorities found shrapnel in the fields, blasting caps, black powder, and a safety fuse in the house, and fertilizer and fuel, ingredients for improvised explosives, in the barns. Neighbor Daniel Stomber told FBI agents the same things he told CBS News, that the Nichols boasted about their bomb-making prowess.
They catch you off guard. It was like a joke, It's almost, bam, and you jump and you start laughing, and what the heck was that, Well, here, watch this, And they'd do a few more, and they'd kind of like be playing around with the volume, the amounts.
Nichols' attorneys, however, claim that today's charges were merely a delaying tactic, meant to give the government time to develop its Oklahoma case. Privately, federal officials believe both Nichols brothers are involved in the Oklahoma blast, but the evidence so far links Terry more strongly than James. If convicted of only the bomb-making charges here, though, the Nichols could face 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Jacqueline Adams, CBS News, Milan, Michigan.
There is new information tonight about the evidence against suspect Timothy McVeigh and a new composite sketch of the suspect still at large. Correspondent Jim Stewart has that part of the story.
John Doe number 2 got a new look from FBI artists today, a baseball cap to cover his brown hair. The added detail comes from witnesses in Junction City, Kansas, who rented out the truck used in the Oklahoma City bombing.
FBI Washington.
John Doe sightings have erupted across the country as callers flood an FBI 1-800 number with tips, and police have been stopping virtually anyone with brown hair and Oklahoma license plates.
I would have been him, I would have been caught.
The search for John Doe number 2 continues to be the major wrinkle in a case that is now being reviewed by prosecutors. A federal grand jury has begun meeting at Tinker Air Force Base outside Oklahoma City to review all the evidence, not only against James and Terry Nichols, but Timothy McVeigh, still the only person charged with the actual attack so far. And sources say the evidence against McVeigh is getting stronger. Traces of explosives have been found on his clothing and in his car. Authorities have recovered an incriminating note he allegedly left in the first police car he was held in that refers to ordering explosives. And a witness has placed him in the lobby of the bombed-out Oklahoma City Federal Building just a week before the blast. They have also questioned McVeigh's sister, Jennifer, who authorities believe may have burned possible evidence before they arrived at a Pensacola, Florida address. Several times over the past 2 days, federal agents have had suspects in hand they felt were possible John Doe 2s, only to release them after discovering otherwise. They remain confident they have many leads, but it's clear the frustration is starting to build. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
This was another day of frustration as well for search teams in the bombed-out Oklahoma City Federal Building. They are still struggling to uncover the daycare center and Social Security office blocked by tons of debris. Scott Pelley has the